Okay, this is Tifa here. One Man Nerdy Studio is currently busy at the moment, so I'll stand in for him. Today, we're going to talk about how to update ComfyUI, which is supposed to be a straightforward process with the click of a button. But for a small minority of folks out there, we tend to see a bunch of errors like this, 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 and this. Now, most of these can be solved one way or the other, either by sourcing out the root issue, which involves dependency version conflicts, or by rolling back the ComfyUI version using a snapshot, hoping that things go back to original. But from what we've experienced, snapshot sometimes doesn't work and just doesn't roll back to the previous version. And in the end, we have to build a fresh ComfyUI from scratch, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's always a hassle. Hence, we're going to show you how we do a manual backup of the key files before we do an update, so that if we encounter any critical errors, we can safely work on it knowing that our previous version is still safely tucked somewhere in the desktop. We won't be going through any error resolving today, since One Man Nerdy Studio might not be the best person to resolve all errors, as he's not technically trained or proficient enough to offer solutions for anything under the sun. This setup will be done using a pre-packaged installed ComfyUI built with PyTorch 2.7 for CUDA 12.8, using a RTX 5070 Ti GPU. For prerequisites, do check out this video if you're new to installing ComfyUI, and this video on how to install ComfyUI Manager before you come back here to continue this video. Oh, looks like One Man Nerdy Studio's coming back. I think I'll let him explain the rest of the video instead, since it's easier for him to do this in person. But before that, I would appreciate a like, comment, and subscribe to help push this video to the right community who might find it useful. I'll be back later, okay?
Let's start off with looking at what are the files to backup. I created a folder that I call models temp, and this should be used to house the biggest bulk of your files, which are your models. And also these models are generally unmodified during a ComfyUI update. Next, we have the original folder housing the version of the ComfyUI which you wish to make a copy. Lastly, to save us some time, I've already made a copy of the original ComfyUI folder and named it test. I just simply copy and pasted the whole original folder out. But before I do that, I go to the model folder here at desktop, ComfyUI, PyTorch, whatever the file is, ComfyUI Windows Portable, ComfyUI, and finally the models folder to cut all the model files out and not copy. It is to cut and paste it in the models temp folder. Why I do that is because A, the model files internal structure is usually not modified when doing a ComfyUI update. And second is B is the biggest bulk of your ComfyUI folder, and it takes a huge load of time to copy the files. So by shifting the model files out to a temporary folder, making a copy of the original and shifting them back to do your experiments, you essentially create a manual sandbox ComfyUI for you to experiment and update and even install new and potentially system-breaking nodes or dependencies without the fear of losing your previous setup, because your previous setup has always been copied out. You are just simply shifting the models out to another location and putting them into the sandbox itself to try out your stuff. Only when you are confirmed that this version is stable, that you will keep all the models in this version and continue to use it indefinitely. Now I'm gonna cut and paste the models into the test folder and place them back into the ComfyUI PyTorch 2.7 whatever folder, ComfyUI Windows Portable, ComfyUI, and models folder, which will not cost me more than a second by doing a cut and paste, as compared to if I were to make a copy of these files, which will take a long time to do the copying, and it's also not resource efficient. The models temp folder now is empty and I can delete the folder since it's already served its purpose. And also by leaving the Model 10 folder on the desktop without touching it, sometimes might confuse me. So I will definitely delete it. And now we are left with just the test folder and the original copy. Just to summarize, the test folder now currently holds all the models that I cut and pasted from the Models 10 folder. And the original folder that I have does not have any models loaded inside at this moment. So that if I were to break my test folder, I could easily just refer to another copy of the original, and I just shift all the model folders to the new copy for more testing. Now I will run ComfyUI. You may wish to ignore my setup for now. I will show you my SDXL workflow in the future. Just go to ComfyUI Manager and you can see my version is 0.3.54. Take note that this is a slightly dated video that I recorded, but this concept remains unaffected by any version that I update to, as the newer versions of ComfyUI that you update will just potentially bring in new errors depending on what is your current setup. And everyone will experience different errors along the way, but we can just keep to this concept itself. It will remain the same. Now click on Update All. This will update both ComfyUI and the custom nodes that you have installed into the latest version. Although we are operating in a safe sandbox of sort now, it's still good to take note of all the logs just in case there are errors which you want to resolve later. And now you will see a notification that ComfyUI has updated to version 0.3.57 and some custom nodes has been updated. Here I encounter my first mini error of sort where Reactor did not update. For this case, I think I know why it wasn't updated, because I modified the files inside Reactor previously for some experiments. Hence, it's no longer the original files, and perhaps it resulted in this not updating error. So I'll deal with them later. Now I'm scrolling through the logs to see if there's anything else that I might need to take note of. And here we see the second error, which is rather familiar to me whenever I update ComfyUI. It's a warning that the installed front-end version is lower than the recommended version. It's a rather straightforward fix where the solution has already been provided to you. Click confirm to refresh your ComfyUI first and close the window as we try to resolve this error by updating the update_ComfyUI.bat as recommended by the command prompt itself. Go to the main folder, update, and double click update_ComfyUI.bat file here. Once it's done, press any key and we can restart ComfyUI. As a good habit, I will usually do a full test over a few tries or even 1 or 2 days of daily usage to observe for any discrepancies or functions that are not working as well. For my own case, I would test out key functions that I always use. I will drop a card above if you wish to know all my key custom nodes that I use, which includes the efficiency nodes to help me manage my workflow. Face detailer, because I always generate characters far away, so it's important to resample the faces and make it clearer. Control nets, which are my bread and butter for cinematic storytelling. IP adapters, although I rarely use it, it's still good to keep it once a while. I will have some functions that I might use IP adapter. And also my in-paint crop and stitch node, which is the very important node for me, because fixing errors and refining parts is part of what I always do when producing cinematic work. Hence, I wouldn't want an update to break any of this function, and this is why my update process is always pretty long in order to safeguard all my functions. Lastly, as I was told that Reactor, which is my go-to face swapping tool for ComfyUI specific, was not updated because I modified some files and I did not need it to be updated as often. So as of this moment, I just want to check if it still works as intended. So let's give it a try. Together with Advanced Live Portrait, after swapping which is used for after swapping the expression editing, everything seems fine. So I'll just leave it as it is. Overall, this method might not be the most professional way to avoid problems when updating ComfyUI, but then again, I'm not a professional, so I tend to do things in a sort of like caveman style instead. As long as it works for me and it doesn't destroy my systems, I am fine with certain non-advanced methods in dealing with matters. So as you can see, the process to update ComfyUI might be a little troublesome. That's why I try to have multiple ComfyUIs instead. Like example, one for my SDXL workflow, which I rarely update, and another one which is like sort of my play around ComfyUI for videos and experiments. Usually I will just play around until I create a stable ecosystem within it. Then I will try not to update it anymore and keep to an old system that functions. I avoid trying to add everything into one ComfyUI folder, which reduces the clutter of custom nodes all in one system and also reduces the chances of conflicts with every update. This is why I only keep essential nodes in the system to do quite a bit of stuff manually outside of ComfyUI to reduce my need to depend on custom nodes or to use very long elaborated workflows. Examples of some manual work that I do outside of ComfyUI includes the using of the Windows Photo app to reduce image dimensions instead of using nodes to change it within ComfyUI. Using of Microsoft PowerPoint to do manual composites of image before I send them for control net sampling. Manually comparing image side by side since I have a big enough monitor so I can actually see the differences between two images pretty well. And also manually padding of images using the Microsoft PowerPoint, which I usually do this for outpainting or for creating a better reference image after it has been cropped for IP adapter. These methods are not the most popular among proficient users of ComfyUI, where they will usually focus on elaborated workflows and specific nodes for specific jobs. But as I mentioned before in my other videos, I find it quite hard to understand technical stuff and elaborated workflows as I can't think in a complicated manner because I'm not a very smart person by nature. Hence, it's a lot more easier for me to use these manual methods. If you resonate with me on this and wish to know more about how I use the tools beyond ComfyUI to work on my generations, leave a comment and let me know your area of interest. Maybe I will create a few videos to talk about it and we can share some of the best practices. I think I said enough, so I'll let someone else do the closing for me.
All right, I'm back. So, to sum things up, we hope this video gave you a simple idea on how to update ComfyUI with lesser worries. Do try it out if it suits you. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe to help push this video to the right community who might find it useful. Until then, I'll see you when I see you.